Hey there, Alex Kidman here, and today the product I'm testing is once again one that I'm wearing. It's these headphones, the Shokz Open Move. They're a slightly older set of Shokz bone conduction headphones, but they're one I was keen to test out because I've recently just reviewed the Open Run Pro, a slightly newer pair, slightly more expensive pair as well. The Open Move are older, but they're also considerably more affordable. And there's always a bit of a balancing act when you're buying that kind of product because you're always left wondering, well, should I spend a bit more and get the better, theoretically better at least, pair, or should I save the money and get the basic pair? And the answer here is that the Pro very much do prove themselves via the Open Move. That doesn't make the Open Move a bad buy, although they're not the pair that I prefer. And I really need to get into why. So, in design terms, the Open Move have that same kind of flexible band plus earpieces thing that Shokz does across its entire range. Of course, bone conduction is the name of the game here, as is that open design that makes you more aware of what's going on in the world around you while you're exercising. I very much like this. I also very much like the fact that you get colour choices. So what I've got here are the Alpine White pair, but they're also available in Slate Grey, Elevation Blue, or Himalayan Pink, if that's more to your style. Having a bit of choice there is a nice thing. Unlike the Open Run Pro, though, the Open Move very much show their cheaper stature by being a much more plasticky kind of build. I feel them on my ears, and they feel that little bit less premium as a result. And I'll get into that when I talk about what they're like to actually exercise with shortly. Along with the headphones themselves, you just get a simple soft carrying case and a USB-C charging cable, but no actual charger in the Shokz Open Move box. That's your lot. That's what you get for your $129. In terms of installation, I was very much expecting to have to be using the Shokz app for these, but that's not the case. They're Bluetooth compliant, so you basically just pair them like you would any other Bluetooth device to any Bluetooth compliant device you can connect them to. But the idea here, I suppose, is that pretty much everyone who buys a pair is going to connect them to their phone for music playback while they're exercising. They totally work for that without a problem. Pair them up to the Shokz app? Well, you can't. They're actually not supported by the app, and that does have some implications beyond things like battery or equalization modes. There aren't any, simply put, but also firmware updates. I guess if Shokz wanted to put out a firmware update for these, they'd have to do it over USB-C, and I'm not even sure that the USB-C port on these headphones is data compliant in the first place. What about performance? Well, look, like the Open Fit, like the Open Run Pro, these use bone conduction to allow their speakers to sit outside of your ears. And the obvious advantage there is that you don't get flattened by a truck while you're out running because you can hear the truck coming. Unless the truck's got it in for you, I can't cover every eventuality. The downside here is in audio quality. And look, I was kind of ready for what these might serve up to me because at a technical level, they're not a million miles away from what the Open Run Pro have got. Except the audio experience, well, it wasn't quite so good. It's a bit more like AM radio or, low bitrate MP3 if you must. And more so than the Open Run Pro was, because they just seem to move around a little bit more on my skull. I suspect this is just the plastic construction, the way they've been built means they move around on my ears. That might not be true for everyone, but there's definitely a sweet spot with these where they sit where you'll get the best possible audio out of them. What about actually running with them? Well, I have taken them running, and I think I should probably pass over to, me, post-run, to see what I think about them there. Okay, post-5K run. With the Open Moves, just let me catch my breath while I catch my thoughts on how they go. So, no huge surprises here really. The cheaper construction does make them a little bit less comfortable than the Pros. I definitely felt the earpieces on my ears and the band on the back of my neck a little bit more profoundly. There's another effect of that though, because obviously the buds in here are not going into your ears, it's bone conduction, but these move around a little bit more, which means the audio quality drops a little bit more, and given the audio quality is already a little bit of a step below, there's definitely a point, I guess, to the Pro ones. These will do, of course, if you just want to run to music that is there. There's nothing wrong with that. They haven't fallen off, they haven't broken to pieces or anything like that. Myself, I prefer to run, still catching my breath. I prefer to run with slightly more immersive music. I do appreciate having the ambient sound around me for safety reasons, but my solution for this, of course, with these is just to turn the volume up. And that works okay till you take a phone call where it becomes blaringly loud, as I just discovered. Phone call audio is actually pretty good, I should say. But if you've got music going loud and suddenly the phone cuts in, you answer it, you are going to boom to the person and the person is going to boom to you for sure. Now, back to me at the reviews desk. Thanks, me. And yeah, look, what he said. They're perfectly capable. They get the job done. But I did really feel, especially coming off the Open Run Pro, that the audio was just that little bit less compelling, little bit less grabby of my attention, which is what I want when I run. Now, maybe you don't. Maybe you do just want those background beats to keep your legs going. And if so, that's fine, and these will get that particular job done. So should you buy a pair? Well, look, there's always an inherent danger for a reviewer like myself coming from the top of the range and then sliding down that range. Obviously, the lower range products are going to appear less compelling. They've got less nice features. Something would be badly wrong if that wasn't the case, or they'd be a bit of a bargain if that wasn't the case. That's not the story here. The OpenMove get the job done. I mean, they're workable enough, but I did find them less comfortable while running and with lesser audio quality overall. And that did strike me as a bit of a problem, even at this lower price point. I think if you want to treat yourself to a set of bone conduction headphones, the Open Run Pro is really where I would push for. I'd say save your money, get the nicer set. If your budget can only stretch to these, they're not bad headphones, but at this price point, I'd almost be tempted to say maybe just look at getting some regular buds. These certainly work a little bit better than most of the other fitness band ones with looser cable ties around the back than I found for comfort, but they're still not quite there in my estimation. Anyway, that's my take on the Shokz OpenMove. Have you got a pair? Got any comments to make? Hit me up in the comments section below, and thanks for watching through to the end, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.